Former President Donald Trump, now the first president in history to be convicted of a felony, and he slammed the historic hush money verdict today and promised to appeal.
It was a rigged trial. We wanted a venue change where we could have a fair trial. We didn't get it. We wanted a judge change. We wanted a judge that wasn't conflicted.
His campaign says ever since the jury handed back 34 felony counts of falsifying business records, he received a surge in donations. So much so that the campaign says that their site crashed. Meantime, President Joe Biden, in his first comment since the verdict, called Mr. Trump's speech dangerous.
It's irresponsible for anyone to say this was rigged just because they don't like the verdict.
So all eyes now turning to how this will impact the race between these two come November. Sentencing is set for July 11th, just days before Republicans are set to pick Trump as their 2024 nominee.
Yeah, and of course, a lot of people are also looking at how this might affect the criminal case against Trump right here in Fulton County. So we've got investigative reporter Zach Merchant here with the 11 Alive political team to answer that question. Zach.
Yeah, it's a complicated question. We took it directly to veteran Atlanta defense attorney Bob Rubin, who says it won't have a direct legal impact, but it could have big ramifications on potential jury selection when and if the Georgia case gets to trial.
If you ask the jurors, as you generally would, who here is familiar with the case, this case in Fulton, 90% will raise their hand, if not more. Now you're asking the question, who here is familiar with the fact that Donald Trump has already been convicted of a crime? Everybody's going to be familiar with that. I mean, it's the biggest headline on the newspaper today. So that's going to impact how people feel about Donald Trump.
Which, if I'm hearing you correctly, in turn would make it even more difficult to seat an impartial jury.
Correct. I think it does impact a person's ability to look at this defendant fairly and impartially.
That conversation, part of a larger interview you can watch on our Sunday morning politics show, The Georgia Vote, right here on 11 Alive at 11 a.m., right after Meet the Press.
All right, interesting stuff. A lot of eyes on what's happening in a historic day, an historic time in our country. Zach, thank you. All right, and remember, coverage of the verdict and fallout continues tonight on NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. That is at 6:30, right after 11 Alive News here at 6.